What happened?
Oh,
You're live.
are we live? Yes, we're live. I don't know what happened there. I do apologise. It failed to play the music clip, so I do apologise.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody. As you can see, we have Penny and we have our lovely guest, Orchid. Hello.
Hi, guys.
So as you can see, Orchid loves her craft so much, she just can't stop.
Oh, yeah.
No.
I'm sorry. I will lay it down.
Nothing to apologise for.
Oh, bless.
So I suppose we best do an introduction then to our new guest.
Go on then.
Right. Stage is all yours, Orchid. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Oh, my God. Oh, well, I will just lay this down for a minute. Well, I have the YouTube channel, Diamond Painting and Cross Stitch with Orchid. And I'm from Denmark.
Oh, that's right. That's the area that Yorkshire couldn't remember, wasn't it?
Yeah. So, but I live in the part that is called Jutland. And I actually live in a city called Horsens. And it's actually a little bit funny with our city name, because when you take horse, that actually is like a horse. Our city was, in the old days, a city where they were selling a lot of horses, and that's how we got the name back in the days.
Same.
Yeah.
That's quite a common thing, isn't it, to name a town after something like that? Because there's a place in Norfolk called Horsford, and I believe it's where obviously there was a little stream ford thing running through the village, and that's where the horses would stop and have a quick drink.
Yeah.
So,
but also it is a name that is easy for foreigners to actually say, also because horse is just like when you say horse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also because Danish can be very difficult for foreigners to learn. Also because we have the vocals, 3 vocals that the English-speaking people don't use.
Yes, don't do that to me again.
Yeah, we have one. Which one? You know, the sentence that I wanted you to say?
Yes.
Oh my God. Oh, well, that is just, it's just really just a mean one to give foreigners to say, but it gives us a pretty good laugh. And it's rød med fløde.
Yeah.
It's what?
Rød med fløde.
What med fleur?
It's rødgrød. It's like you know, when you're mixing all kinds of berries together in a pot, and then you put cream on it. I'm actually not quite sure what that is called in English, but it's called rødgrød in Danish.
Okay, I just call it pudding. Or muffins.
But yeah, we love to give foreigners that sentence to give them and try and get them to say it, because it always sounds a little bit funny.
Yeah.
But also, as many say, that when they hear us talking Danish, they think about like we have a potato in our mouth. So, but yeah. But I guess all languages are easy on your mother language.
Yes.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Well, it's it. I mean, if you've only ever spoken, or you start off speaking one language, then yeah, it's going to be easy, isn't it? Because if you say a word wrong, you're corrected from an early age.
Yeah.
And thinking about it, the number of words that I think are quite simple now that I had trouble with when I was young, and obviously I was just constantly corrected.
Yeah.
And now I just feel it's easy. But when you come to a foreign word, it's a new word, isn't it? It's like you're 3 years old again and learning the words again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But actually, one thing, if you want to learn a new language, the best you can actually do is actually listen to music and then try to sing to the lyrics. That's actually shown that it's the best way to learn a new language, actually to sing along with the song that is in the native language.
Do you know, I never thought of that, but now you mention it, yeah, I mean, some of the foreign language songs that I've heard before,
yeah,
you know, you sort of sing along to them, and it gets easier, doesn't it? Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it helps a lot with the pronunciations of the word.
Yes, yes, because you're listening to somebody say it properly.
Yeah,
that's true.
Exactly.
So tell us what that beautiful thing is that you are working on, because that doesn't look like cross stitch or...
No, this is a beaded cross stitch, but it's the lid for a box.
Okay.
I have the tray here that I have here is actually also a beaded one, where I have the lid here with roses on.
Oh.
And it's just so lovely because it holds the beads so good, and it's with magnets on, so the lid holds pretty good when you put it down. But yes, this here is going to be the lid on the box. And just give me a second. I can take the box over here because I haven't assembled it totally yet.
So you've got to make the box and make the decoration for the box.
Yeah, we have the part of the box here. And
see, that's just such a perfect idea, isn't it?
And then I have the sides here to put down in the holes. And then in the end you put the lid on. So yeah.
Wow.
It's perfect. Because if you're making something, or if you're selling something to a crafter like the box, make them make the box. They will appreciate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, because what I was thinking about with this box was using it for my cross stitch, where I could put my needles down and my scissors and your threaders and stuff like that down in the box. So I just know where all the items are all the time, because I'm pretty good at losing stuff.
Yes, I am.
I actually had planned to show you guys something that I have done with beads, and it's actually a little tea holder. Tea holder. What is that flower called now? That is in the water.
Lily.
Or the big ones that are floating on the water.
I think they're lilies, aren't they?
Yeah, I can't remember the name of them. But of course, I had put it somewhere, and I was like, I can remember this. But then, of course, of my fibro, I can't remember where it is. And I have been looking and looking and looking, and I simply just can't find it.
No. Oh.
I don't know where I have put it.
Oh,
actually, one day when I had to take the ketchup, guess where I found it? Underneath the sink.
Oh
no!
Yeah.
Under the sink.
I don't know.
I'm going to bring this now, actually. There
I
we
don't
go.
know why, but that's just how it can be with the fibro. That you put things somewhere crazy and you just don't remember where you have put it. So yeah. So I had a good laugh about myself when I found out that I had put the ketchup down under the sink.
Well, at least you can laugh about it.
Yeah, well, better laugh than cry.
Well,
But other than that, then I lived together with Magnus and my little poodle girl, Tronde. So yeah. And we have been together for 13 years now.
yeah.
The time just goes so quick.
Yes.
Yeah.
And also, I can't just believe that my little girl is actually turning 12 next month.
Wow.
Yeah. But
They
many
still-
actually getting very surprised when they see her because she actually don't look like she's 12. And she's still just so much full of energy.
Yeah. Too much, aren't they?
So, but it's funny because she have gotten a new play friend, and it's actually a standard poodle. And she is just a little bit over a year ago, and Tronde is actually putting her in place. Just imagine her to put a big standard poodle in place, is like telling her how to behave. So that's actually quite funny to see. But yeah, I would love to have a standard poodle too. Actually, one of each sizes. But
Is a standard poodle, is that the middle one or the big one?
No, that the biggest one.
Big one.
Yeah, I would say that it's about the same size as a Labrador.
Right.
And then you have the middle one and the toy.
Yeah, I can't remember the middle one now.
So, but actually, Tronde is actually not in one of those categories because her father was a toy poodle and her mom was a middle poodle. Right. So she's just between those two sizes.
Yeah.
So, but isn't it just funny because her mom was apricot and her dad was black, but all 9 puppies were black. None of them was apricot at all.
No.
So that is actually a little bit funny, but oh my God, I remember that day when we were down and looking at her. Oh my God. Oh, they were just so adorable, all of those little pups. They were so cute. And I remember it was actually a warm day and I had sandals on. And just think about 9 puppies attacking your toes.
No.
Oh, so the lady actually found a chair where I could put my feet up because of those sharp little teeth. Was like, ow, ow. But they were just so adorable.
Sorry, it was just annoying me that I couldn't remember the middle-sized poodle size, so I've just Googled it. There's actually 4 poodle sizes. It says the poodle, called poodle in German, and the caniche in French, is a breed of water dog. The breed is divided into 4 varieties based on size: the standard poodle, medium poodle, miniature poodle, and toy poodle, although the medium poodle variety is not universally recognized.
Yeah.
So there you go. Interesting fact for the day.
They were actually in the old days, also because they have that funny cut that you see, that fancy cut. It's actually because they were using them as hunting dogs back in the days to go out in legs to retrieve ducks.
Yeah.
And that's why they have that special cut because they have that pong-pongs around their joints on the legs, and the special form on their body is to protect their joints and their organs from the cold water.
Yeah.
Also because a poodle's hair just like grow like our hair do. So they don't have that undercoating that other dogs have.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but yeah,
Right.
they are funny dogs.
Yeah. Do you want me to chat catch up, and then we can get on with all the things we've got to show people and tell about?
Yes.
So we have Gold Star Award goes to Build with Adrian. Hello, everyone on Yorkshire Crafter. And then hello. Penny's Pitstop. And Danielle has said the statement. Oh, my cursor stopped. Has said the statement that always cheers me up. Good morning, afternoon, all you beautiful peeps.
Hi.
I don't know what.
Good morning, Danielle.
We have Bill with Adrian. Hi, Danielle Boudreau. And then Danielle says, hi, Adrian, how are you doing today? And Danielle Boudreau, hello, she says. And then Mike Tedstone says, hello, all. And then Danielle says, oh, my, that is beautiful. That was referring to your beadwork.
Yeah, thank you, Danielle.
And then she's advertised your channel for you. She's really good
at
it.
How sweet. Thank you so much.
So, everyone get a look at that channel if you haven't seen it already. Hopefully we can get a few more subs for Orchid. With Adrian, hi Mike Tedstone. Oh my, that's beautiful. Did I read that one before? Look at Yorkshire Crafter, and we trying to put one every now and then in places. I think that was about the box, wasn't it?
It's the mermaid stitching we're doing. There's a little bit of beadwork on, but it's every so often. It's
right. Just bear with me a sec. I've got to take my jumper off. Why I wear a jumper while cooking, I do not know. You walk into a cold kitchen, put a jumper on, then start cooking, and then you're like, whoa, I'm so hot. So Danielle says it will pop up when you least expect it. That was about something you'd lost and you found it under the sink, I think.
Oh yeah, the ketchup.
Yeah. Bill with Adrian says, Daniel Boudreau, I'm fine, thank you for asking. I've just scheduled tonight's show. So Adrian's doing the Spitfire show tonight. Obviously, we'll mention that in the schedule. And then Mike Tedstone says, hi, Bill with Adrian. And Danielle Boudreau says, love my standard poodle, but also have the miniature poodle.
Oh, Daniel, you have a poodle too.
Yeah. See,
oh,
you like them, just
welcome to the poodle club.
Yes.
Actually, I would love to have one of each sizes, but Magnus, he's just like, no, I just want the small ones.
Yeah. I suppose the good thing about the poodles is that you've got if you've got the energy and the time and that for a big dog, you can have a big one. But if a poodle, but you can't handle a big dog, you could have a small one.
Yeah.
Do you do a bag-sized version?
Well, also something that I have to think about is because of my fibro, also because I do cut Trunde myself. Yeah. And if I get a big one, I would have to stand up, and I can't do that for too long with my fibro. Right. So I would get in trouble there because it's not easy to put a big standard on the dinner table. Then you can't reach the top of it.
Yes. Yeah. That makes sense.
So I guess we will only keep on having the small ones, but it's also nice to have a good heating pad in a poodle in the bed when it's cold and you're freezing.
So is there much difference between the poodle sizes, like in temperament and attitude?
Oh, they are so different because when I think about the ones that my mom had, one of them was also a girl, and she was actually also called Trunde. She was the most sweetest dog that you could ever think about, and she just didn't know how much good she should do to you. And she was just like, if she had done a little pee inside, if she had been home alone, she was just so sad when we came home. And of course she wouldn't get yelled at of because she had been home alone and couldn't get out, because it's just like with us people, when we have to go, we have to go. But she was just like so sad when an accident had happened and really didn't know how she should make it good again. She was such a sweet girl.
Yeah, I used to have a dog like that. If he's had an accident, he would, as I would come in the house, he would just come up to me with his head low. And okay, you've done something, haven't you? And it'd be like, I'm sorry, I've done something wrong. I didn't mean to. Please forgive me. And I'm like, I don't know what you've done wrong yet.
Yeah. But Tronda here, the one that I have, she's she's also a good girl, but she's just so funny because when there's something she don't want, she's like, and also the last weekend when Julie asked me to give her a kiss from her, and I gave her a kiss, she was like, don't kiss me. Oh man, no, she's very funny. But I actually think that maybe Tronda was the leading pup, because I have had some battles with her in her earlier years, where I had to show her who was the boss.
Yeah.
So, but again, when she have done something wrong, it's so funny because she know it right away. And if I talk to her in a certain voice when she have done something wrong, you should see that little shit. She's running to daddy.
Yeah.
It's like, Daddy, Mom is angry at me.
Yeah.
She is just so horrible. And then he's just like, oh, but you are also daddy's little girl. I was like, Magnus, please. So she know when she wants something, either a treat or if she wants to go out and walk, she just know, okay, I just have to go to my daddy because I have him on around my little finger.
Yeah.
She is so clever, that little girl, but so funny. But also when she has some persons that she really, really, truly love, oh my God, she's just so good with them. And actually also she's very good with special need people. It's like she just know immediately that there is something different about them than there is about us. And also elderly people, she's so good with. So good. But yeah, me and Magnus, yeah, we can get now and then. Oh, she's so funny.
Oh. We've had a couple more bits of chat when it wants to come up. So Danielle said about the poodles, so we'll just...
Oh, you have two?
Next.
Wow.
Just put two, yeah.
Yeah, we have actually been thinking about to get a new one as long as also Tronda is alive, so that the little one could learn something from Tronda. But yeah, we're not sure. Also because Tronda is getting up in that age and we don't know how long we will have her.
No.
Sorry,
but we have just had her to the vet because she had gotten bad ears, and the vet actually examined her and listened to her heart and lungs and looking at her teeth and everything, and she was like so amazed by her. And also because he said, I have not seen a poodle with so good teeth in a very, very long time. And then she actually asked us if we brushed her teeth, and we do. She is getting her teeth brushed. And then, of course, she listened to her lungs and heart and stomach and touched her all around the body. And she said, it's a long time ago that I have seen a poodle in such a good way that she is, and that she's nearly 12 now.
Yeah.
So I was happy to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just hope that I still can have her for many years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. I do apologise. I'm going to change the subject. Julie.
Yes.
Did you have a policeman come during the week?
Yes, my postman did.
What did you get?
Got a package from Smith's Beads.
What a coincidence, because so did I. Sorry, we love gifts. So,
it's absolutely stuffed full of things.
Mike, I just need to ask you, Mike Tedstone, is the promotion still on? Because if it is, I will put that ticker on, but I don't want to put it on unless it's actually still running. Right, brilliant. Sorry, I was a little bit offy just then because I was looking for links to the products, but couldn't find them. So, there was one that I was looking for. So,
yeah.
Right, so the promotion is still on. So, right. Let me just find this. So what did you get first out of the packet?
I got a pen, but
Right.
it's a multifunctional pen.
It's
so,
brilliant.
First of all,
and go on, admit it, half an hour ago, you didn't know the full functionality, did you?
I didn't. I just thought it was a twist pen, and I didn't think it did anything else until speaking with Penny. So we got a stylus.
Let's
on this
find
end.
the site. Sorry.
But if you push the button, it lights up, and it's got the Smith's Beads logo on. But if you twist when I want it to come off, it can be a torch.
Oh,
Also,
that's very smart.
it is. But then it's just a twist pen. But yeah, I really, really like that.
Right, I apologise. I'm looking up this pen on the site, but I put in pen and I've got 8 pages of results.
Oh no.
So, but it is absolutely fantastic. I mean, obviously, as you guys all know, I don't just do diamond painting, I drive buses for a living. And if you are the kind of person, excuse me one sec, sorry. If you're the kind of people who work in the dark and you do paperwork, it's absolutely spot on, because I can pull that off, and I've got a pen, a torch, so I can do things like checking under the bus and stuff. And then obviously I've got my what's the word? My defect card or any paperwork. So right, okay, last one on page 8. So the purchase that is black ink pen with stylus, £2.50, and it comes in black, blue, purple, or red. Julie has the red one. I have the purple one. My camera's terrible, so it does look blue, but trust me, it's a really good shade of purple. And I know my purples, don't I? I am the purple expert. So it's a sort of a royal blue. So if I can do that's not really as good as I wanted it to be. Can you see that, guys?
Yeah.
Right. So I'll copy the link into the chat. So that is the pen, and Mike has said yes to the discount. So if you use the code 10new, you will get 10% off that. So that's a 25p saving. Did you get anything else?
Yes.
May I ask if it's a UK based store?
They do ship overseas, but double check with that, because obviously with things like Brexit and
it's trouble with taxes and all of that.
Yeah. So
we have some bent tweezers. Oh,
now I find those.
Yeah. Really, really sharp. So, gotta be careful.
Yes. No, they are £1.50. Obviously, you get your 10% off. Now, you might be tempted to say, well, that's a little bit expensive. But in actual fact, they're really good quality. I had a little play with them earlier on, and they're the kind of tweezers that I would use for my models, because they're good. They return really nice. They're comfortable to hold. I do like this black coating, and like Judy says, they are sharp, so be a bit careful with them. But yeah, I mean, they're really good, and I think you'll find that they're a lot cheaper than the modeling. I know that with plastic models, accessories are really expensive, because modelers seem to go, yes. I love those tweezers, but they're not made by the manufacturers who make model kits, so I won't buy them. And then the manufacturers go, well, here's a pair of tweezers, but I'm going to make them really expensive because you'll just buy them from us. But yeah, they're a bit more expensive than these cheapy Chinese ones, but obviously in 6 months' time, you'll still be using these, whereas the cheapy Chinese ones, you probably won't be using them beyond a project. Anything else?
That's true. Yes, we've been given a set of these containers. Comes with the sticker label and the tray to put them in.
And again, the same applies to these as for the tweezers. I did have a little bit of a play, and I've lost them now. It's a 21 compartment, isn't it?
Yes.
Right. They are currently out of stock on single cases. No, that's not it. I'm looking at something completely different. I do apologize.
Julie, is it a TikTok boxes, containers? I just didn't see it because I just had my glasses on. Okay.
Sorry, I'll show you again.
Oh, those?
The little square ones.
Yeah.
You're on full.
I bought one of those in the early days when I started to diamond painting, but they were not good. They wouldn't keep the lid closed.
Yeah, no, that was something I was thinking about. In the old days, they were quite cheap, weren't they? But these, I've got the wrong view. These have got a really nice, the little clip down. It's really, you've got to push it home and it's going to stay there. That's not coming up accidentally. And it's like people have gone, well, I really don't like these. They're really poor quality. And someone's actually listened and gone, do you know what? I'm going to make a better one. I found with a lot of these lids come up too easy. And these are really, look, that's how hard that was to open, which is what you want.
Out. Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, I'm sorry for the Danish. It was just Magnus because he's going downtown.
And I believe there is now one other thing, but I can't get the link up. There we are. There we are.
Yes, one more thing. I can't wait to use these. I really, really can't. It's the special AB gems. So
now I'm waiting for you to say the name. Julie, I'm waiting for you to say the name. What does AB stand for?
Aurora Borealis.
Well done. So these are 60p a packet. I've always liked their beads because I don't think they're very expensive. Look at some of the prices on eBay, and but now we have been sent this version, which is a pack of each, 23 packs, which is £12. Now this is something I've never used before, and oh, I've lost me. There we go. As you see, I've not even opened mine yet. But one thing I've seen done before, which I really want to have a go, is when you do your diamond painting, when you've finished, pick out little bits to highlight and then remove those drills and then replace them with ABs. I'm not even going to try and say it, but yeah, you replace them with ABs. And if you look at the colour range, you're going to get the colour you want, aren't you? So,
Yeah.
big thank you for that. So, if you bought one of each of those, I think I can't find the box. I found another one for a £5, but I don't think it's the same one. Store. I tell you what, let's look storage cage, shall we?
Oh, look at these ones. That's gorgeous. 602.
Let me have a look. See, I've got the advantage.
Gorgeous. Oh, yes, we do. Yes, we do.
What's that? Now,
It's got your favourite colour.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm quite taken back by the AB208. I don't know why.
Yeah.
They are actually genuinely really nice.
Go on, I'll let you show it.
Oh, God, I've got to find these. So these are, if you look, I don't know if you can see on the bottom, they're just plain purple, a really nice shade of purple. But then if you see the tops, they've got this blue glistening. They are really nice. This is the first time I've actually handled AB drills, and they are beautiful. Yeah. So I am definitely going to have a go at replacing drills, and I've got just a project actually. I've got my R2D2. So if I replace like along edges and things and just have a little bit of shiny part, I think that'd look really nice.
Yeah.
And don't forget, with 10 new, you get 10% off.
Yeah.
Oh, that's if I realised. Mike has given me lots of links. I've got some news for you guys. Right, so the pen is £250. I think the case, I could find similar ones for about, well, they do a 21 compartment storage case with accessories for £10, but that's not the same. And they do a different storage case for £5. So it's going to be roughly that price, isn't it? Hang on. Oh, because I'm looking for 21. It's actually 28 compartment. It's actually £3. So 3, 15, 16, 17 and a half. 18, 19, 29. So there's about £30 worth of products there. So you've got an instant £3 saving by using the code. Hello.
Yeah.
And so the news that I've just had, and let's see if it is what I think it is. Oh no, it's the 28th. Yeah. So I have it on very good authority that they are currently adding A4 light pads to the shop. So if anyone's after a light pad, and that brings up a lot of discussion, doesn't it? I think light pads are fantastic, but I hear a lot of people say they don't get on with it, which is why I've always said, if you've got a mobile phone or smartphone, which I think most people have, or a tablet, download a light pad app and then put that behind your diamond painting and then see if you get on with it. Obviously, it's going to be stupidly small, but it will tell you if you're going to get on with it. And if you don't get on with it, you've then not wasted the money on a light pad that you don't like. And if you do like the idea of a light pad, you can then go to Smith Speed's website and buy one with 10% off. I should work for these TV channels.
Yeah, you would be good at that, Penny.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do a quick.
Shall we catch up with some chat?
Yeah. Well, you read them there. No, you go for it.
We'll get back to Crafty Chris. We didn't get a chance. Let's see. When it wants to show up, where are we going? Hello, Julie, Penny, and Orchid. I love that beadwork you're doing, Orchid. That's from Crafty Chris.
Thank you.
Then we have Danielle. Isn't that pretty at Crafty Chris viewing today? Then we have, when it wants to come up, Mike Pedstone. Put my teeth back in. Mike Tedstone, yes, in reference code, still working.
Yeah.
Yeah, because PM due panic. So
yeah, because I couldn't find the link for something, so I messaged him on Facebook, and he's messaged me back. Oh,
yeah, we've got D. Bowen. Hi, Penny.
Hello, D. Hello, yeah, hello. Oh, I haven't spoken to you for a long time, have I, D? I've just had a message from Mike. Those boxes that are £3 each, they're 2 for £5. And I actually think they're extremely good value for that. I've bought some for cheaper, but you'll chuck some of them out because they're just not got the quality. But these ones, happily use it. Mind you, you know me, I can't get, with all the hobbies that I do, you know, I just can't get enough of those containers. Formerly known as pill pop containers.
Yeah. Mike says, message him on the Smithies for International Edition.
Yeah, I think the postage rates almost daily, aren't they, at the moment?
Yeah. Love Minis says hi all. Hi, Love Minis. Then we have D again. I got a few of those boxes and do struggle to open.
Yeah. That is obviously the negative one, because obviously I want a nice sturdy box where things aren't going to fall out. But then obviously the trade-off with that is that they're going to be a little bit more difficult to open. But if you get one that's easier to open, you're going to lose half your drills. So you're in a bit of a catch-22 there, aren't you?
That is true. Mike says they're getting the square ones in, the square ABs.
Yeah. I
didn't even think about that. You know, I was looking at them. I thought, oh, I've got an idea. It's
Yeah, because
never
I've
mind.
been buying a lot of cheaper diamond paintings, like $2.99 from Fanstalls and that.
By the
And
way, I was
you,
thinking if you wanted to see the containers that I use. I am using this kind, and
no,
they are from Systema. They are a little bit expensive, but the big ones, they are so nice when you have a big portion of diamonds. They can hold so many, and there is like 4
now
closes on them.
I've got a comeback for that. I have actually used these before. Oh, just bear with
and
me.
I'm very happy for these ones, but I'm just like only using them when I'm doing one of the big diamond paintings. Yeah. Also because these containers can hold so many beads.
Yeah. Now I've come across this actually by accident on the Smith's website. Let me see if I can pull it up. I came across these are really useful boxes. There's 16 and they're £10 for 16, and they are actually really good because
they look nice.
There we go. That's a better picture. So those handles, they actually act as a clip for the lid. And I've put things in those. I have actually dropped those before, and they very rarely open when they make contact with the ground. And I mean, I bought them ages ago from Hobbycraft, and I can assure you they are not £10 for 16 in Hobbycraft. But they are the ultimate for me. The struggle I have is finding really good stuff for a good price. I'm going to have to ask Crafty Chris. I sent you a container. Can you remember who made it? It's a really, really good. It's like a tray with lots of different boxes, and you get 3 different size boxes. And it really is the Rolls Royce of drill storage. But it's like £54 tray, and it didn't.
Oh, I think.
Yeah, you know.
I think about you talking about just thinking about the big tray.
Yes.
Right, where they can lay down in, where there is a lid you can close on to them. Oh yeah, what are they called?
Yeah,
because I have seen those on AliExpress also, but I just think that they are still too expensive.
Yes, I mean, don't get me wrong, they are the Rolls Royce of drill storage, but if you're getting like, you end up with one of every color drill, you need probably 10, 20 boxes of them. And it's, you know, at 50 quid a box, you know, you're talking, what, £1,000 just to store your drills. I actually went the other way round. If I've got them. Bear with me a sec.
I actually got crazy here the other day, and I wrote all of my extra beads out. I was like, nope, not going to use them. Whoops, out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm just so good at keeping stuff, and I'm just like, then now and then I'm just like looking at the things that I have, and then I'm just like looking at them, and I was like, have I used this in this year? And if I haven't, I will just throw it out.
Yeah. So this is my drill storage by choice. Now, it's not brilliant, and when I open it, drills are going to go everywhere because it doesn't hold them in perfectly. But basically, it's the Tic Tac boxes. But what I find is that what I lose in drills, it still makes it more cost effective than the top of the range ones. I'm going to be forever picking these drills up now, aren't I? I've probably lost about 20 drills out of it. But yeah, I just think they're brilliant. And you need something like about, I think, something like 8 boxes to get one of every color, and then obviously another 8 for the round drills. It's called Bead Solution 83 piece or 82. I mean, it is absolutely brilliant, and the reason I gave it away was because it doesn't fit with these. I mean, if you get 2 or 3, they stack really well, but there's no way I'm going to buy enough of them to store every drill that I've got. So, you know, I'm just like, yeah, who wants it? And because I'd end up not using it. Whereas these Tic Tac boxes, I've actually got, I keep the Tic Tac boxes in a makeup, like one of these makeup boxes on wheels, and I can fit all of my drills into one section, and it just works really well for me.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, you can get these on Smith's Beads as well. They're not awesome, but they're really cost effective.
Yeah. Right. Should we carry on with some?
Yeah, maybe we could do some work today.
Yeah. Adrian says, hi, love minis. Mike Tedstone says, hi, love minis. One of the links that Mike put in for the products.
Yeah.
Then we have Retro Collector. Afternoon, Penny's Pitstop. Hope you and Yorkshire Crafter are doing well. Yes, we are. Thank you very much.
How are you?
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon to you all. Retro says, hi, love minis and Build with Adrian. Nice to see you both this afternoon. Then we have, hi, Mike Headstone. Nice to see you, my friend. Hope you have a nice week so far. Hang on. I've gone a bit too far. Yeah. There we go. Right, back to Crafty Chris. I'm okay, Danielle. Thank you. Yes, it's beautiful. May need to look them up. I've got an 8070 custom from Smith's Beads. It's my son's wedding photo. It will be lovely when it's done. It's gorgeous.
You know what I say to that? Pictures or it doesn't happen. Or pictures or it hasn't happened.
Of Mike Tedstone. Hi, Retro Collector. Thank you. Hope you do too. Build with Adrian. Hi, Retro Collector. Takes a while for it to come on my screen. I'm doing good, Mike Tedstone. I'm glad to hear you keeping well, my friend. Yeah, this is Retro Collector. Hello, Adrian. Oh, nice to see you. Doesn't want to come up, that comment, for some reason.
So do you want me to take over?
Please, if you don't mind. It's been a bit, yeah.
So Sonic Collector says, smash that like button and break the thumb for Penny's Pitstop. Her lives are awesome. I will correct you there. Also, thumbs up for Yorkshire Crafter because our lives are awesome. We both work together on this, and she deserves at least as much credit as I do. Crafty Chris says it's Bead Storage at Solutions 83 pieces, then corrects herself to 82, and I think that is the chat caught up. So, what have you been working on Julie? I shouldn't have asked that.
I have got. I've got subjects, but I've got my diamond painting. It's the Little Mermaid. It's the Siren Princess. So I'm going to get cracking and camera down.
Okie dokie. Unfortunately, I've not sorted my computer desk out yet. I'm having trouble with my mic. So that's why I'm still in the kitchen. But and I can't have the camera down too much because the kitchen's a bit of a bomb site because I've been making paella today. So, which I was very excited about. And I know this is a diamond painting show, but I am so pleased with this. I actually bought, I've only ever eaten paella. Sorry, I tell a lie. I've had a handmade paella before and it was really nice. But the only paellas I've ever eaten have been frozen. And so I made my own today following a recipe. And I was surprised at how easy it was and how good it was. So, but with Wednesdays being my day off, it's kind of my catch up. I try and cook sort of a few portions of food so I don't have to cook during the week. And it's going very well. I've got a bit addicted to cooking, I think. So I'm having a go at, what did I say I was doing this afternoon? Moussaka. So I'll give that one a go.
Yes.
So, all right, what am I making? It's paella. Paella is, I assume that's what you're talking about. So paella is, it's said to have originated in Valencia on Spain's eastern coastline, where it's traditionally made with meat and cooked on an open fire. So it's basically, it's a mix of rice, meat, and seafood. So shall we do the old expectations and reality pictures? So this is actually, I don't think it's too bad. So this is the expectation. I can't enlarge that picture. And the ingredients consist of chicken stock, chorizo, chicken, onion, garlic, pepper, paprika, rice, tomatoes and peas and prawns. And
it looks good.
It does look good. Sorry, I do apologize. Someone is just, I'm trying to find me. Right, so that was expectation, and actually I'm quite pleased with it. The reality isn't too bad. So that's what I've ended up with. And I really wish I could give you all a taste because it is actually really wonderful. I will never, ever buy frozen paella again. And it took me about half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to make. And so it's not really that bad. I have a bit of No, I started cooking about 1 o'clock and I was online with you about 1:45, wasn't I? Well, yeah, a little bit sooner than that. So actually,
I just finished cooking it, I think.
Yeah. I hadn't tasted it at any point until I actually finished it, which was obviously a bit of a risk. And one of the comments I made to Julie was that one thing I'm surprised at is there's no salt or pepper in it, but it really doesn't need it. The only spices in it are paprika, and obviously you get the flavor from the chorizo. But when you think plain is rice is quite plain and chicken is quite plain, you would have thought it would have absorbed all of those flavors. But no, it's actually really tasty. So
you also have to think about you get a lot of salt from the chorizo and the shrimps.
Yes. I didn't do the ingredients properly because you need like 250 grams of prawns, and the packets I bought were 200 grams. So it's a little bit short on the prawns, and instead of using I think you need like 350 grams of chicken, and I bought a large chicken and just cut the breast off, and there's about about 450 grams of chicken in there. And again, the chorizo, I just put a packet in. So I think the chorizo is a little bit slightly less than there should be. But it's what's going to make mine a little bit different, isn't it? I don't think it's made too much difference. And as I say, I'm going to be doing a moussaka later on, which I do like. We'll see how that one goes. And so I've just been a lot of things that I do. I just do like stuff from memory. So I do things like fried rices, and there's a thing I do where I just chuck a load of stuff together in pasta, and it just works. And I just thought I'll just try a little bit something new. There's a recipe I'm trying to find for, I'm going to call it a curry. And you make up this like really spicy yogurt, and then you put the chicken in, and then you just coat it with the yogurt, and then you leave it in the fridge overnight just to sort of marinate. And you sort of look at it and you think, oh, there's an awful lot of spice in there. But by the time you've marinated the chicken and the fact you've got yogurt in, it's actually not very spicy at all, but really tasty. And I'm desperately trying to find that recipe again. So, but that brings me to a question, something I was talking to Julie about just before the show. Obviously, my channel is about crafting and making stuff. And I gave someone an idea of they were looking for ideas to do on their YouTube channel. And I suggested cooking because they wanted stuff that was not going to cost them too much money. Obviously going out and buying part works, the costs rack up, doesn't it? And I suggested cooking because when you're cooking, you're already buying it for yourself anyway, so there's no additional costs. And then I've sort of been mulling the idea over in my head, and I thought, well, now I've got my own place, what do you guys think about me doing, say, maybe a monthly recipe? Is that something that would be interesting?
Would love that.
Yeah?
Yeah, so I would totally love that, because I love to see other recipes from other countries.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of things that I do, I will look at, like, I mean, nothing I do can be considered traditional. I mean, this paella, for example, it's not traditional because it's got the correct ingredients. It's a bit of a Morecambe and Wise. Do you remember that sketch from Morecambe and Wise when he says, I'm playing all the correct notes, just not necessarily in the correct order? And that's a little bit as my chorizo has come out. It's the ingredients a little bit out, because that's how I cook. If you can only get 400 grams and you need 450 grams, put 400 grams in. There's otherwise I end up buying 2 packets. I mean, these prawns, I don't really eat prawns as prawns. So obviously I needed 250 grams. If I'd have bought 200-gram packets and then put exactly 250 grams in, I'd have had 150 grams worth of prawns sitting in the fridge, and they probably would have sat there and gone off. So 200's going in. But I did think about doing it with a twist, because there's a couple of bugbears that I've got. There's 3 things that annoys me. Firstly is the amount of food waste that people have. Apparently, I've been told the average household wastes £80 a week worth of food. I'm just going to let that one sink in, because
that's a lot of food.
Yeah, and I benefited from this, but I lived in a shared house once with a couple. They were they went out and bought stuff. Oh, that looks nice, chuck it in the trolley. But they were also throw stuff out on the sell-by date. And I'd actually said to them, don't throw it out, stick it in my fridge. And I was probably 3/4 of my weekly diet was supplied by them. And so, wasting food is I'll give you a good example of stuff that I do. Last week I bought some cheap little steaks from Lidl's, and I cooked this steak up. and I did some mashed potato and peas with it. And I'd actually made too much mashed potato. So the next day, I made bubble and squeak with a leftover mash. And then I was having that with my breakfast. So there's 2 days worth of bubble and squeak. And that's a really good way of reusing food so that you're not throwing anything out. But I'm actually looking at my food recycling bin, or my food wastage bin. It's been, I emptied the bag out nearly 2 weeks ago. It's half full, and probably 90% of it is peelings rather than actually wasted food. And that's how I think you should all aim to go. My little food crusade there. Don't waste food. The next thing that does annoy me.
Yeah, there's no use there.
Yeah. The next thing is when people go, "Oh, I don't have time to cook good food." And I'm like, yeah, but you've got time to watch soap operas, haven't you? So why have you not got time? But this meal, the way I've done it, what did we say? Half an hour, 3/4 of an hour to make. Yes, okay. That's nearly an hour of my time I've spent. Yeah. But let me show you exactly what I've got for it. That's what I've made in 45 minutes. So they will go in the fridge or the freezer, and I'll put one in my bag every day, and then I'll have that for my lunch. Obviously not every day. So although I've taken an hour to cook today, I've now got 4 more days when I don't have to cook at all. So it's all about the time management.
Yeah.
And then obviously that doesn't apply to people like you, Julie, who's got family. So you're probably going to have to spend an hour or 2 cooking every day. And then that would probably do your family in one go, wouldn't it? But the last thing is, the last thing is when people go, "Oh, I can't afford to eat good food. Junk food is cheaper than good food." And yes, sometimes that might be the case. But now I was told, I'm not going to mention names, but I know she's watching. When I was working out the budget for me living in a flat, I remember saying, "Oh, I'll put down 50 quid a week for food." And she said, "Oh, do you think that will be enough?" And I said, "Well, if you're a bit careful, I think, yes, it will be enough." Now, I've been having cooked breakfast nearly every morning and then making and taking food to work with me. Back in the old days of a few months back, I would skip breakfast. I would go to work. I'd then get hungry. I'd hit a convenience store and I'd eat nothing but junk. Probably cost me £8-10 a day in junk food. Breakfast has cost me about £2 or £3 a portion, which is quite expensive. But then I'm going to work with a full belly. I'm not eating quite so much at work, but what I'm eating is better. I'm probably spending £5 a day on food by eating better. And so cheap food, quick to cook for not too much, for not wasting. I think it's a totally realistic project.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you must find that challenge, because obviously anyone with a family, they've got to stick to budgets a little bit more, haven't they? I'm lucky. If I'm a little bit short on food budget, I can just go out to work and do an extra day's work. And but obviously, if you're feeding families every day, how much of a strain does that put on your budget, Julie?
Quite a bit. We plan every week what we're going to have for meals, so we just buy for that week.
So there you go, there's a good word there, plan. How much difference do you think planning makes? obviously don't tell us what you spend, but how much more do you think you'd end up spending if you didn't plan, if you just winged it every day?
I'd probably say at least add another £20 on that.
Yeah, which is a lot of money, isn't it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I reckon you could probably get 5 to 10 portions worth of food out of that, couldn't you? So that's a day's food, isn't it? At least.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I remember.
At least, yeah.
I remember the old days when we'd sort of get home from work and we'd go, do you know what, sod it, let's have a takeaway. Well, if you've planned well on the other 6 days, you can just about manage that, can't you?
Yeah, yeah.
So there's my theory. I won't sort of commit to doing it every single week because I don't know how it'll go, but yeah, I might set up some cameras in the kitchen and just do some filming, and I might have to end up doing some voiceovers because it all depends on the sound quality. And maybe possibly people would comment on it and go, yeah, that's really nice. How about a recipe? I like lamb. So how about coming up with a lamb recipe? And I'll look at lamb recipes. Or someone might say, oh, you know, in my country, we eat this. Do you fancy having a go at that? But not
actually.
Sorry, go on.
Actually, also, I don't know how it is in UK, but actually over here, I see a lot of people, they are actually buying their meat in the grocery stores. And when you look at the amount of meat that you can buy, when you're looking at how many kilos you get, and if you then here go to the butcher, you can actually get a lot more meat if you buy a half pig by the butcher than if you actually go down in the grocery store.
Yes.
And you will get so much more meat for the same amount of money than you actually would buy the meat in the grocery store.
Yeah, you have to play stores against each other.
Yeah.
We've got stores like Tesco and Sainsbury's and Asda, and they are known for being cheap. But you'll actually find if you know where to look and you're prepared to do a bit extra work, you could get that cheaper somewhere else. It's just that Asda and Tesco's and that, it's an all-in-one store. You can go in, you can get everything you need all in one store. But like you say, if you go to a nice butcher, you might get your meat cheaper. You find a nice greengrocers, you can get your vegetables cheaper, etc., etc. Yeah. But if you want to get it cheaper, you've got to perhaps visit 10 different shops. So it's the convenience that people are paying for, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
And there's also ways of saving money. And
I really love the butcher that we are using, because you can get him to divide that half pig in whatever you want to, and then actually some of the meat he will marinate also, and it's just, I just love this butcher. And when we look at how much more meat we get for the same amount if we bought it down in the grocery store, it's just like ridiculous.
Yeah. Well, I don't know about other countries, but one thing we get quite a lot of in the UK is meat vans. And it's like a mobile butcher, and they quite often have pre-packaged packs. So you might get like 35 pounds worth of meat for say £25, and you just get like a bit of pork, a little bit of beef, a load of chicken, maybe a bit of lamb, and you know what you're getting, and that's all you're getting. You can't change the order, and it's bang, there you go, nice cheap thing. So if you know what you're going to buy, maybe, using Julie's word of planning, so you get something cheap, but you're planning what to do with it. You can do really, really well. But one of the things that I do, I used to work in a chicken factory many, many years ago. And I know that chicken portions cost more per kilo than whole chickens. But I also know that chicken portions come from defect chicken. Let's say you get a whole chicken and maybe say, for example, it's got a big bruise on its breast. So what they do is they cut that bruise away. That goes into, say, for example, dog food. But obviously you're left with a chicken that's got a breast missing or a leg missing or something that's not right. You can't sell that as a whole chicken. So what they do is they cut it all up and they turn it into portions. And it's like, I'm paying more money per kilo for chicken that is effectively defect. I won't ever buy in portions, but I know how to portion it. Let me see if I can get it. I bought a chicken today. It's just starting to freeze, but I bought a large chicken today, and there's a chicken leg which I've cut off, and there's another chicken leg, and then there's a chicken breast. It's gone in the freezer. It will sit there until I need it, and the other chicken breast is in the chorizo, and this is my favorite thing ever. This is the chicken carcass in the saucepan, which has been boiled up. So now I've got a pan of chicken stock. Once it goes cold, I put all the meat off, chuck in a cupful of rice, some sweet corn, some herbs. I got myself chicken soup.
Yeah, it's just actually amazing when you think about it. When you have a whole chicken or part of the chicken, how many dishes you can actually make out of a chicken in just like one go.
I mean, this chicken leg, what I might do with it is chuck in some herbs and spices, pop it in, say, a bit of tin foil, and then just bake it in the oven and just let it infuse in its own juices and herbs. So, but
I can understand, Penny, that you like a little bit more special food. Have you ever tried one with chicken called chicken piri piri?
I don't get on well with spicy food.
Okay.
Especially peri peri.
Okay, because that is actually quite good, and that is actually a Portuguese recipe.
Okay, peri peri is extremely popular in the UK at the moment.
Okay.
I don't know if it's because the boys like to show off. You remember the days of the curry, and it's like everyone's going, I'll have a jalfrezi because I want to be bigger and tougher than everybody else. And you see them sitting there eating this hot curry and they're sweating. I don't know if it's because of that or people do actually like peri peri, but I did accidentally have some peri peri before, and it was way out of my spice league. I call myself a spice wimp.
Yeah.
If I'm feeling
actually, I don't know if I could eat it anymore because of my fibro, because I can't take anything that is too hot anymore. It's just like burning like crazy in my mouth. It's just like I have a big fire.
Right. Yeah. It's. I mean, I love the taste of spice, but it's too much on my mouth. But yeah, it does play up. I have IBS, and it does play up on that. Which, interestingly enough, since I've been living in this house and I've been cooking every day, my IBS has been so much better, mainly because I'm eating less processed food.
Yeah.
So anyway, I've just had a message from Smith's Beads. Those tweezers, if you pop in the code P50, that will give you 50 pence off the tweezers, and that is exclusive to viewers of this show. So no one else is allowed to have that. Well, I suppose they could have the code, but so if you buy the tweezers and pop in the code P for Papa 50 P50, you will get 50 pence off. Now we seem to have lost Julie. I don't know if she's going to come back. I'm assuming she's got an internet problem because She's not the kind of to disappear and not say anything.
I actually didn't even notice that she was gone.
What a terrible thing to say.
But I'm also sitting here without my glasses on. It's because when I have to sit with any project, when I'm sitting close with it, I have to take my glasses off. Otherwise, I can't see it.
Yeah, no, I'm the same.
And then I'm just like popping off and on my glasses when I have to look at the screen.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Julie.
We have a Julie back. Not quite, but she's getting there. Camera's firing up.
Oh, that's good.
So I can't remember where we're up to on the chat. So, Julie, you back? Not quite. Anyway, so Danielle says, what you make and can you explain it? Bill with Adrian, Retonic Collector. Yes, I am. Thank you. Danielle says, also looks somewhat of a stir fry, Chinese stir fry. Yeah, it was very similar to a stir fry in that you're cooking a lot of it on a high heat and you are constantly stirring it to stop it from burning and sticking to the bottom. Although it does say in the recipe, scrape off the brown bits from the bottom of the pan and stir that in. It all adds flavour. The only bit that's not the stir fry is when you put the rice in, you then mix it all up to get the rice coated in oil. Then you add in all the stock, and then obviously you're doing a bit of boiling. But Julie's gone again. I think we're going to lose Julie. I think she'll probably keep trying, but it looks like we might have lost her for the day. I'm going to guess internet problems. But yeah, so you got a little bit of boiling when you get to the rice stage and all the stock, but essentially it's a stir fry. It's a Spanish stir fry, we'll call it, shall we? Mike, we are all on way to you for dinner or tea. You are more than welcome, but obviously be aware of social distancing. So only 5 of you can come, and we're going to have to eat outside. So Danielle says, good idea, Penny. So yeah, I might try a couple of little simple cookie things, and we'll see how that goes. But it won't necessarily be authentic food. It could be something done with a penny twist or something. But I'll also look at things like if you can't get this, you could put that in instead, or if you can't afford that, this could make it a little bit cheaper. Things like when I do, for example, a shepherd's pie, I actually replace half of the mince with pearl barley because I think it adds a little bit of flavour, but it reduces the meat content, which obviously reduces the cost. And I think we don't need as much meat as we actually. I'm not advocating vegetarianism, but we don't need 20 pounds of meat every day, do we?
No.
So
exactly not.
So, Retonic Collector, glad to hear Paint Bill with Adrian, my friend. Deborah Kaser, hi Yorkshire Crafter, sorry I'm late. Not a problem with you being late. You and Yorkshire Crafter truly deserve more followers in my view. Thank you very much. We are working hard on both of our channels. They are growing steadily. Obviously, I've had a little bit of a gap with producing videos, but that's going to change soon. I've got some of my part works now. Deborah says, hi, Penny's Pitstop and Orchid. And then hi, Danielle. And then Danielle says, hi, Deborah, how are you? Deborah says, still sore, but okay, how are you? And then Deborah says, hi, Bill with Adrian. And then Danielle says, doing good, Deborah, thanks. Trying to catch up on me temp stitch right now. Temp stitch? You might have to explain that. Deborah says, nice, Danielle. And then we've got hellos and thank yous, and we've PM'd you. And I've just completely, here we go. Deborah says, I love spicy food. You're going to have to give me some recipes then. And we can put a bit of spicy food on the channel just for you. Love Minnie says processed food can kill you. I have the viewpoint that there is no bad food if everything's eaten in moderation. There's nothing wrong with McDonald's as a treat, but these people who eat 2 meals a day in McDonald's every single day, that's too much. So yeah, there is nothing out of bounds, I don't think, but you just got to sort of have the right proportions. Mike Tedstone says, "Really gone? Sorry, didn't notice. Would have noticed if Penny went though." Oh, well, yeah, okay. Would be like going deaf. Yeah, because I do tend to be a little bit more vocal than Julie, don't I? Yorkshire Craft says, so sorry, unstable internet, chucked me out and won't let me back in. That's all right. We'll manage with you just for today. Daniel, would love to see your shepherd's pie. Do you know what? I will make my first, possibly my second on shepherd's pie. It's such an easy. Oh, hang on. Sorry. Yeah, it's one of those recipes that's actually quite simple, but looks more complex than it actually is. And there's so many twists that you can do to it. And it, you know, if you want a nice, luxurious shepherd's pie, you could do one. And if you want to sort of make it a bit more family budget friendly, you can do that too. Oh, we've got a Yorkshire Crafter. Is there anything like that you have where you come from, Orchid? But basically shepherd's pie. You've got shepherd's pie and cottage pie, which is basically...
No, we actually don't have anything like that.
Well, we have you back.
But
yay, hi!
welcome back, sweetie.
I'm going to put you back in the number one spot.
Thank you.
But something that I
No,
really love is blood pudding. Oh, yum,
So-
yum, yum.
Who pudding? Any pudding or?
Yeah, I just love blood pudding.
Right.
Oh, I just love the smell when you're frying it on the pan. It's just like, yum.
You know what? I love that as well. I think we call it black pudding here, but blood pudding, black pudding. I think it's the same thing. But it
must be.
But I just, me included, I just cannot find a southerner who can cook black pudding well. Whereas anyone from the north, they can just go, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I don't even bother cooking it anymore because I just know it's not going to come out that good. You know your limitations. There's stuff that I can cook really well, and there's stuff that I can't cook so well. So,
but I must admit, there is definitely a big difference between the dishes that when you see that is made, for example, in the UK and then here. And also when I compare it with America or any other countries, it's just like, and also we have something called rugbrød. It's some very, very dark bread that we often use when we are getting lunch.
Okay, is that
some kind of
the Russian bread that they have?
It's just like a sour bread.
Right.
If you know that.
Right. Yes. But you remember most recipes from different countries are based on local. So obviously, many years ago, you couldn't just get some from China and potatoes.
Exactly.
And, so I know people on Eastern European countries, especially, they like potatoes because you can't get potatoes because it's so difficult to grow because of Colorado beetle.
I actually have made a dessert on my YouTube. It's called in Danish citron fromage, and if I have to translate it, it's like lemon fromage.
Oh.
And actually, Julie tried to make it, but she just got the wrong cream, so it didn't get as stiff as it should be. But it really looked like that she really liked it.
You are going to have to share that recipe with me to give it a go one day. So,
and it's just so fresh.
Yes. I think I've worked out my two things I'm going to cook. I'm going to do shepherd's pie first, just for Danielle, and I think my next video will be lemon tart because I love making that and it's so nice. So yeah. So Danielle says, "Welcome back to chat, Julie." Oh, I'm slow as well. Welcome to chat. Sorry, your internet is acting up. Well, that's took a long time to come up. And then Mike has just said, "Love you, Penny." Yeah. He does like to try and wind me up, doesn't he?
You're in trouble, Mr. Tedstone.
Why is he in trouble?
When he didn't notice I'd disappeared.
Yes. Orchid got away with it. She hasn't got her glasses on and she was focusing on her craft.
I actually didn't notice, and then suddenly Penny said, "Oh, wow, Julie is gone." She is? Yeah. Oh, by the way, Penny, do you know what I called her husband the other day?
No.
She and I, we were sitting and talking, and then her husband came with a drink for her, so kind, and then I said, "Oh, that was very kind of your son." And I was like, and then Julie was like, "No, it was my husband."
Yeah, but he's not small though, is he?
No, but it was because he had what was it you called that blouse? A hoodie. He had a hoodie on.
Hoodie.
So I didn't focus on his head. So I was just like assuming, okay, that's her son. I was like, oops. So we have had a little bit of laugh about that.
Yeah, I remember when we all met up that time, and I think the first thing I said when I saw Mark was, "Blimey, you're big."
Yeah, you did.
When you see people on camera, you don't really realize how big or small they are, do you? And then obviously he's much bigger than you, Julie. So you make him look taller and he makes you look shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
6 foot, Mark.
I'm just a tiny little one with my 160 centimeters.
See, now I can't do centimeters. You know what? I like working in centimeters, but I can't do it in height. What's 160 in feet?
It's like 1 meter and 60 centimeter, 1.5 plus 10 centimeters. If that help you.
Okay, that's didn't. Oh, you're just a little bit shorter than me. You're about 5'3". I'm 5'4". That's about average, isn't it? I think.
Yeah. I just hate when Magnus then puts something up at the top shelf in the kitchen and I'm trying to reach it and I'm just like, oh, dang it. Why do you have to put it up there all the time so I can't reach it?
Yeah, it's not like light bulb changing height. I do.
Also because he's nearly 2 meter high, so.
Yeah. Yeah, I was changing a light bulb the other day and my friend was here and I'm dragging this box out and he just went, "No, let me do it." And he just went, "There you go." And I'm like, you're so tall and I'm so short. Right.
Yeah, I wish I was higher sometimes.
Yeah. Right. Carrying on with the chat. Retronic Collector says, always nice to see everyone crafting way. Penny Pitstop, your lives are awesome, my friend. Yeah, it's I do like seeing people do stuff. Productive stuff has got to be better, hasn't it? And you get a result at the end of it. And I've just lost the chat, and I can't scroll either. Here we go. Right. So Danielle says the community here in the US are crochet a temperature blanket. I don't crochet, so I'm cross stitching one. You pick colors to indicate the high temperature of the day that is what you crochet or cross. So obviously as you're going through the day, your colors could change as the day goes on. Or if you're crocheting at night, you'd end up with cooler colors, and if you cross stitch during the day, it would be warmer. That sounds quite interesting, doesn't it? And also your perception of what's hot.
Really good.
Yeah, but I mean, your perception of what is hot and cold could affect that as well, couldn't it? You know, if you live in a hot country and it's cold, then that's going to reflect in cold colors. And then if you live in a cold country but it's quite warm, you could be doing warmer colors. But in actual fact, the what's considered colder could still be hotter than what's considered hot. So that would be quite interesting, seeing all of them.
Yeah.
Electronic Collector says, yes, I agree. The amount of food waste everyone wastes is terrible. Penny's Pitstop. But what about the amount of food waste restaurants waste? Think about that one. That is a bit of an issue, and I know that there's some restaurants that feed the homeless with their leftover food, which is quite a nice thing to do. And I know the supermarkets are starting to donate to food banks more, aren't they? So when their food is starting to get close to the sell-by date, like fruit and vegetables and things, they don't chuck it out, they give it to food banks. And obviously the food banks can distribute that quite quickly. And I like the idea of wonky veg sales, because we seem to be a nation of we will only buy stuff if it looks nice. There are millions of pounds worth of food wasted in the farmer's field because it's not the right shape.
We actually have a program over here with all the different stores where they can, if they want, get to into this group, and then when their day is over, and if they have any leftovers, like the restaurants or the bakers or some of the stores actually, then they sell that item for lower prices, and then you can say, okay, I will come and pick it up.
Yeah.
So in that way, we actually reduce a lot of food that actually would have been thrown out.
Yeah. But I think more needs to be done to tackle waste, because there's people and organizations that are throwing food out, and then there's people that genuinely don't have the money to buy the food. So surely if you can match those two up, you know, here's our food which we're about to throw out anyway. If you take it now and cook it straight away, you can get a good meal out of it. That's got to be a win-win.
Yeah.
So Electronics Collector also says it's best to recycle the food than waste it, in my view. Definitely. You know, let's say feeding the homeless, feeding food banks. Food banks always, apparently the food banks, they're so busy and they just don't have enough. And like I say, you know, stuff being thrown out, and there's food banks that can distribute it. The two have to come together. Love Mini says, how do you make that pie? Are you talking about the pie that Orchid was on about, or were you on? You'll have to just to elaborate on that. Oh God, sorry, I've lost the cat again. This Chromebook is very, very good, but it's not as good as my desktop PC. Mike Tedstone, why? What did I do? Always playing the innocent, aren't you, Mike? Yeah, no, you're just being Mike is enough. Yeah. Crafty Chris says, enjoy the rest of the show. Penny got to move. Yeah, you take care, Chris, and have a good afternoon. Now, this is a statement that raises more questions than answers. Danielle Boudreau says, well, I sure hope I look smaller on camera. So now I want to know how big you are. So, and then Danielle says, see you next time, Chris. Have a good one. And Deborah says, bye, Crafty Chris. And then Metronic Collector says, good food. It's much better for you than junk food. The only difference is junk food is quicker. Yeah, this is the problem. And I'm seeing, obviously, one of my bus routes that I do, I drive through Glasgow city centre at night time. And all you see everywhere is fast food delivery drivers, either on cycle or cars. And I know home delivery has increased during COVID, and there is a place for it. But I just think it's too much. We just seem to be a nation of takeaway. And for those of you like me who are a bit older, have you noticed how much more fast food shops there are on the high streets than there were, say, 20, 30 years ago? You've got these good, genuine shops that are closing down, and the shop's being taken over by a fast food outlet.
Oh, that's the same over here. It's just like a fast food or either pizza or those shawarma rolls or something like that. They are just like popping up all over the place. It's just like they're on each corner.
Yeah. And I've seen TV that you get these TV programs where they go in to see a family and they see what they're spending the money on, and then they look at how they can change things. And quite often you'll see them and they're spending £80 a night on takeaway food, and I'm like, where on earth do you get this money from?
Yeah, exactly.
But then I think if I had £80 a night to spend on junk food, I don't think I would, because it's just too much.
No, but do you know what? You don't even get how do you say it? You don't even feel like you're getting full, and then just like a half hour later you're hungry again.
Well, you know what? This is the thing that I noticed where I've been now cooking proper food. I'm leaving for work with a full belly. When I get to lunchtime, I'm still not hungry. And the reason I eat is because it's my lunchtime. And I've got to a point now where I'm actually eating so well that I'm not actually hungry at breakfast because I'm still satisfied from my lunch the day before.
Yeah.
And I've not felt like that for a long time. So
also because your stomach gets something to work on.
Yeah, and it seems to be enjoyed because it's a nice feeling, isn't it? I know. I talk about Christmas where you eat too much food and you're absolutely stuffed, and that's a really nice feeling. Just to have like a couple of times a year when you just completely blow out and overeat. But at least then you're eating good food, aren't you? I think that's why it's a nice bad feeling, isn't it? So Love Mini says we have a delivery service that's misfit veggies and fruit. Yeah, I think that's brilliant. Do you remember the advert, Julie, for Tesco's years ago? I remember they were saying about their their cheap mushrooms, and the tagline they were using was, "These are our mushrooms." Blah blah blah. They don't look good, but they're perfectly good enough for a chicken and mushroom pie. And it's like, yeah, if you've got, so like, say mushrooms, they may not look uniform, but you're going to chop them up and put them in a pie. Does it really matter what they look like before you start?
No, exactly. Yeah, I remember that.
But then saying that, I'm a little bit guilty of that today. I bought carrots today, and this is now what I've done is I've looked through them. Can you see how all my carrots are uniform? So I'm actually guilty of this pretty veg. The reason I picked uniform veg is I've fallen in love with my potato peeler. I have potato peeler on one side, a julienne cutter, I don't know if you can see it, on the other. So what I do is I peel the carrot, then I flip it over, and then I just sit there and I shred the whole carrot. So you end up with little strips of carrot. And it's really, really good because then you can just chuck it in a stir fry or whatever, and it's just the right size. And I've julienned a whole carrot in about 20 seconds. But obviously it works better with a big fat carrot than it does a little one. But normally I won't mind. If when I do my shepherd's pie, I'll just get any old carrots because I'll just be cutting them in little cubes. So talking to shepherd's pie, love mini shepherd's pie. So shepherd's pie is essentially a meat base. You do it in a bowl, and you put meat and veg and stuff at the bottom, and then you do a layer of potato at the top, and then you bake it. You could put cheese on top. I like to put breadcrumbs on as well, so it all goes nice and crispy on the top. And then you just spoon it out on the plate, load of gravy on it, and it's absolutely amazing. Help me out here, Julie. The difference between shepherd's pie and cottage pie. Is it shepherd's pie is made with lamb mince and cottage pie is made with beef mince?
I'm not sure, but yeah, I know it's the meat that's different.
Yeah. Retonic Collector. I'm not keen on shepherd's pie, love minis. I know some people like it, but tried it a few times. That's fine. Different people like different things. When I cook, I tend to give some to my friend. And what was it? Something I made the other day, and he says I didn't really like that so much. And I'm like, well, that's fine because you're trying different foods. You can't expect everyone to like everything, can you? He doesn't like mushrooms, so I can't cook anything with mushrooms and then share it with him, which is, I've told him it's a problem because I really like mushrooms and he needs to like mushrooms so that I can share my food with him.
Oh, sorry for the Danish.
That's okay. So Love Money says, was trying to collect and not sure if I've tried it. And then she says, might try that. Well, it's going to be my first cooking video, isn't it? So I might look at filming that next week, and then we'll publish that sometime. We'll see how it goes. But what I'd be keen on is feedback from other people. Maybe there's things that they like, so that perhaps they'd like me to do something with maybe. You've got the world's endless supply of chicken for not too much money, so you cook a lot of chicken, so you want some chicken recipes, or maybe something to go with a particular dish. So Deborah says, why don't I see most of the people in chat? Right, the reason you don't see most of the people in chat is this is actually broadcasting on 3 channels, Facebook, Yorkshire Crafters channel, and my channel. The people on my channel can only see the chat by people in Penny's Pitstop, and the ones on Yorkshire Crafter can only see the chat on Yorkshire Crafter, and the ones on Facebook can only see the comments on Facebook. The software that we're using that brings it all together. This is why when we mention a comment, we always, just like that, we like to bring it up so that you see every bit of chat. But if you are, obviously I can't see what you're on, Deborah, but if you're on Yorkshire Crafters channel, and say, for example, Love Minis is on my channel, you two can't see each other's comments. It's just the way that YouTube does it. And I don't know if it would be a viable option for them to change it, because I don't think YouTube is actually designed to do dual broadcasts. It's all the external software that does it. So yeah. Yeah. So have you got anything to add, Julie?
I just wanted to mention the pen that I'm using. It was a gift from my husband. Let me get it in the camera. It's a light up. Light up at the end there.
So how good is that? I've seen that advertised, and I'm like, I'm not sure if it's that good.
It's a really nice thick pen to hold in your hand, and the light at the end helps when the light's going down in the evening and you're trying to get diamonds out of your tray. It helps to light up that area, because obviously you've got the light pad,
which is the age-old problem, isn't it? Oh,
yeah, it was a set of 4. I've got them here. Hang on.
Like that.
Yes, there's that. Yeah,
sorry, someone in this block is cooking bread, and I've just got a waft of the smell of it come through my kitchen window.
Nah. Nice. So there's that rose gold on. I think that's another rose. No, that's a copper. And there's a red and blue. But those come with different tips. It's the angled.
Okay.
So it was a set of 4, like I said, and then you get a load of extra tips.
Right. Why can't I find a husband to look after me as well as yours does with you?
So you get a 3-placer right up to a 15-placer.
Right. Oh, that's a lot to place in one go, isn't it?
Some people do. They love the 15 places. I can't do that.
No, well, I had a little go with that multi-placer that I had before, and I'm pretty sure there's probably just practice involved, but I couldn't get on with it.
Yeah. But yeah, I think I'm gonna give the angled one a go.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's everything I've got to share. So I'm glad I got back on the line.
Oh, well, I'm glad you got back online. Because we miss you, even for a second. Even if Mike Headstone doesn't miss you, I do.
I know, you all love me, really.
Yeah. Can't live without you, Julie.
Oh, no.
So Danielle is asking, did the post pass today?
We've had post today, but there was just a letter for Mark.
Okay.
So nothing for me.
Nothing exciting for you then.
Oops.
No.
And then Danielle says, I agree, LOL. And Mike Tedstone says, you're high maintenance, Penny. That should have been YOU-RE. So all the caramel wafers. Your spelling is terrible today, Mike. I'm sure he'll come up with a reason for it. And then Retronic Collect says, all right, lovelies. I have tried shepherd's pie a few times, but still not keen on it. Much prefer pasta or lasagna. Now, lasagna is my favourite meal of all time. I absolutely love it. And I couldn't be vegetarian, but someone made me a vegetarian lasagna where what you've basically done is you've replaced the mince with slices of aubergine, and it's actually really, really nice. But the trouble with the aubergine, when you fry them, they just absorb oil, don't they? It just seems the more oil you put in them, the more oil they absorb. But it's actually really, the vegetarian lasagna is actually really nice. And I like vegetarian food, but I couldn't be veg. I can eat less meat, but I couldn't go meatless. Oh God, I've set Mike off now. No. Mike says, yeah.
Oh, no.
There we go. I told you to come up with an excuse, didn't I? Concentrating on doing orders. No, that's good. And I hope you get more orders. So Retronic says, yeah, depends on what food likes are when shopping. I always try sometimes to try something different. Yeah, same with me. I mean, I like trying different stuff. I don't like everything I try, but yeah, I think you've always got to try different things, haven't you? Because if you don't try it, how do you know whether you're missing out on it? So
yeah.
So is there anything else?
I don't think so.
Right, should I do the YouTube schedule then?
Yeah.
So our little fun time of the day where we try to promote. So guys, if anybody does any lives or anything like that, give us a shout and we'll try and add you onto the YouTube schedule. We have a group of us that all do lives and we all call the little schedule out. So it's just a way of promoting everybody. So if you do any lives, give one of us a shout and we'll get you added onto that schedule. So let's see if I can find the scale. I haven't loaded it up beforehand. That's really bad on me, isn't it?
I actually promised some of my viewers to come online tonight at 8 o'clock my time, so that would be like 7 o'clock your time.
Brilliant. I just pressed the wrong button and I've just loaded up a to-do list. No, I've just created a to-do list.
Oh.
Right, YouTube announcement. So it is Wednesday today, so that means tonight we have Build with Adrian. So obviously, first of all, we have Orchid is going live at, I'll say 7 o'clock UK time. Still doing a live. And then at 8 o'clock, we'll have Build with Adrian. Now, Build with Adrian is doing issue 55 of the Build the Spitfire and 106 of the Terminator. So that can't be too far off being finished, that Terminator. Thursday night, we have Horlicks. He's doing Terminator 101. And gosh, how he has caught up. He was a long, long way behind a couple of months ago, wasn't he? And now he's only 5 issues behind.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And then on Friday, Horlicks doing the Spitfire issue 42 onwards. Now, what Horlicks tends to do is he will start with an issue and then he will do as many issues as he can within the time. So he can't he can't really say I'm going to do this number of issues, because if one of the issues is really tricky, he's not going to get as many done. But like, for example, with the Terminator, sometimes he might get 5 or 10 issues done in one stream. So he'll start with issue 42 and then he'll work it on from there. Saturday, we have Chris Davis' channel. Now, he does a dual stream. No, that's Monday. I'm not sure if he's doing a dual stream, but Chris Davis will be streaming on Saturday. He'll be doing Build the Jaguar E-Type, issue 37. And then on Sunday, I've just noticed this, and this looks really exciting. Geordie Dave is doing a channel update, and that will be 8 o'clock.
Yes.
All of these streams are 8 o'clock, unless I say otherwise. Now, Monday, we have Chris Campling. He's doing Terminator issue 107 and issue 108. He has put a question mark, so that might be possibly subject to change, but we'll see how that goes. Tuesday, we've got Build with Adrian. He's doing Build with Ferrari F40 issue 33. And then and that's at 7 o'clock for Build with Adrian on Tuesday. And we've got a little live going on next Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. We've got myself and Yorkshire Crafter doing show 36 of the Build with Diamond show. Can you believe that? Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it, how many we've done?
Yeah, I am saying that every week now, but when we were up to sort of show 25 or 26, I'm like, oh my God, it's been 6 months. It's just absolutely flown.
Yeah.
But the funny thing,
the time go very fast.
Yeah. But what's really funny is in that 36, I've had, technically speaking, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 addresses.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because we started when I lived in Gravesend, and I moved from Gravesend to another place. Then I left there, went into a hotel, then went to a different hotel, and now I've got this place here in lovely East Kilbride. And I wish I'd come sooner. I was having a nice little cup of coffee with a neighbour today, sort of a get to know you thing. And I said to her, I'll be absolutely honest with you. I came to Glasgow through very little choice of my own. And I said, based on what I'd heard about Glasgow, I would never have picked it. But it's actually a really nice place. The people are lovely. Obviously not as nice as you guys, because no one could be as nice, even Mike. But it's just a really nice place, and it's the city centre. It's some of the buildings are so old, and if you're into architecture, it's a really nice place to look. And the thing that makes me really laugh is there's a statue of the Duke of Wellington in a place called forget where it is now, but it's in the city centre. And people keep putting a traffic cone on his head, and they try and take it off, and people just put it back on again. And now it is part of Glasgow that the Duke of Wellington has a traffic cone on his head. And now if anybody takes it off, it's like a big, oh no, the traffic cone's gone. And it is part of Glasgow. And Google it, Duke of Wellington, Glasgow, and you'll see all about the traffic cone. It's really funny, because when I first came to Glasgow, I'm like, oh, that's a traffic cone on his head. That's quite disrespectful. And they're like, no, it's meant to be there. And I'm like, what? So yeah, but let me show you a picture I've got. So when I moved in, someone had left this picture. So I'm just going to steal the full screen. So someone had left a picture and I liked it, so I decided to keep it. So this is the Duke of Wellington. But if you zoom in, can you see the traffic cone on his head? So it is meant to be there. It is. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's actually quite funny that that they have done that.
And it's people go crazy if anyone takes. Sometimes, if you're really lucky on a good day, the horse will have a traffic cone on its head as well. But it's people go crazy if they take the traffic cone down. It's like, but funnily enough, the traffic cone had been removed the other day, and I've got to the point now. I came round because I see it every day when I do up the bus route, and I saw the traffic cone was missing, and I'm like, oh, the traffic cone's gone. So even I've to it now. Where's it gone? Where's it gone? But I was actually really tempted. I've been watching a lot of TikTok, and I'm trying to. There's so much bad stuff on TikTok. I'm trying not to get too involved with it. There's occasional good stuff on TikTok, and I'm like, I could make a really good TikTok out of this, because there's a lot of videos going around about something bad, and they play this song that goes, oh no, 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 no. And what they do is that you can just sort of, and I thought I could do that. I could put the captions, Glaswegians will understand, and then slowly bring the statue in. And then just as the song goes, no, 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 I could show with no traffic cone. And I thought, I bet that'd go down really well. So
that reminds me, did you do that TikTok you were going to practice?
I have been practicing it, but I'm not really good enough to show any result yet. It's it was one of those things where you think, well, if I practiced that, I could get good at it. But let's just say it's fair to say it's harder than it looks. I think it's probably more for the youngsters. Obviously, I haven't got the coordination that a 15-year-old has anymore. But I've given it a go a few times. But no, it's right. So what I'm going to do then is I'll do a catch up on the chat, and then we will say our goodbyes. So Mike says, I always cringe when I see Mike Tedstone. I wonder what it's going to be. So this was the cooking show, and Penny will be doing DPing on her cooking show. Yeah, that's probably about right. Well, look, this is right. So if you imagine this is the topic, right? Most YouTubers, they follow the topic like that. You know full well that I'm going to be going, and they never actually get to the end, because that's how I flow. Who is going to hate? That's how it goes, isn't it? Hate is going to hate. Yeah, that's me. If you want a subject followed from A to B, then you need to watch someone else's channel, because it ain't going to happen on mine. So, electronic collector, you can sometimes make more than one meal out of something else. Yes, and that's something that I want to look at doing as well. So, like a good example is, well, the best example is when we have a roast on a Sunday, we always used to have something with bubble and squeak the next day, because it uses up all the leftover veg. Sometimes it's the cold meat left over from the Sunday, but to be honest with you, most, I think this goes for most people in the country, their lunch on a Monday tends to be a sandwich consisting of the leftover meat from Sunday. That's about how it goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
You'll see people at work eating their sandwiches, and you can tell what they had for their Sunday dinner from the contents of the sandwich.
Yeah.
So Danielle says 1 p.m. my time, Orchid. And then Mike Tedstone, my phone's just saying something to me. Do you know what? My phone hardly ever goes off, but yeah, on a Wednesday, especially when I'm busy, it's just like constant. I was out in the garden with a neighbour, and it was just constantly texting me constantly. And then I thought, if I just ignore it, maybe they'll go away. No, it was just getting more and more. So Mike says, I do miss you, Julie. We need you to keep the grammar police in line. And I see you spelt grammar correctly, so that's okay.
Oh, no.
So Fleetwood J. Hello, Fleetwood J. Sorry late to the show. Hope everyone is okay. Yeah, I think everyone's fine, aren't we?
Yeah.
So Danielle says 6 p.m. for you, Julie. Is Shalene's Zoom link is in your email? Are these secret groups that
yes, it is. I got the email. Yeah.
These are exclusive clubs, are they?
A sketch and chat thing that I'm part of.
Right. Oh, Love Minis has opened up the politics word now, hasn't she? It's crazy here about Prince Harry is not going to wear military uniform. We don't care. He's going to his grandfather's funeral. Yeah, I mean, I've got to be honest with you. I'm not a royalist, but I wasn't totally surprised at his death because he wasn't. Well, when he came out of hospital before, he didn't look well, and he's not young. But obviously, it's a bit of a sad thing, isn't it? And I'm just confident that everyone's going to do what they feel is the right thing. As long as Harry doesn't turn up to the funeral in a Nazi uniform, I think that's going to be fine. So there was a little joke there about Prince Harry's past there.
Oops, sorry.
That's okay. Things happen. Dan, well, actually, I'm going to quote Mrs. Coffee here. Everybody, things back when in house, and if things happen, if it offends you, then you're going to have to go and watch another channel. Things do happen, don't they? So Danielle, Penny, I sent you a picture of that temp stitch. I will look at that, I promise you. And then Mike Tedstone says spell check worked. But don't you feel that spell checker is really good, but sometimes it's not actually looking at the word that you want it to say. It will spell the word correctly, but it will not be the right word. Right, so I think it'd be really good to let Orchid say her goodbyes, and then I will say goodbye, and then we'll leave it with Yorkshire Crafter, because we love Yorkshire Crafter's ending. So, Orchid, show is all yours for the moment.
Yeah, well, I will say thank you so much for letting me join your stream today, and I have really enjoyed it. It has been a lot of fun.
Brilliant.
Good.
It definitely have been a nice day.
Yeah. Thing is, when you get a new guest on, you really don't know how it's going to go. It could be a complete disaster. But I'm really happy to say it's been an absolute pleasure having you on, Orchid. And hopefully you'll join us again.
Thank you, Benny.
Not a problem.
For sure. If you want, I would gladly do that.
More than happy. This is a people show.
Because I have had a blast of time.
Yeah, no, this show is for everybody, not just for us. Even Mike can come and join us if he wants to as well.
We're determined to get Mike on one day.
Yeah. Well, I think he passes the attractiveness test enough to come on. I've seen him a few times, and right. So that's it for me as well then. So thank you very much for watching. Thank you to our guest Orchid for coming on, and thank you to you guys.
Welcome.
You've all been fantastic. And don't forget, it's about there. Always another one coming in there. Pop onto Smithby's website, pop a little order in, use the code 10new, get yourself 10% off, and everyone's a winner then, aren't they? So
Yeah.
I will catch you guys next week. Take care.
Yeah. So thank you everybody for joining us today, and yeah, live streams, technical hitches, yeah, it all happens. So thank you for
that technical issue.
Yeah. So remember, guys, in a world where you can be anything, be kind. Bye. Bye, guys. Are you ending? Yep. No.
Yeah, go on. I'll end the show then. Take care, everyone.
Bye.